pretty much have to be living under a stone in Port Alberni not to have noticed that HGTV is filming Hometown Takeover here. And nobody is more excited about that than the city itself.
I can't tell you how great it feels. This is such an exciting project. Certainly for the renovations, there's, some big renovations coming to the community that we've been hoping for a long time, planning for a long time, but, it's always about prioritization. They haven't necessarily made it to the top. This is our opportunity to be able to get that work done, beautify and improve our community and some of our most important community spaces. But more than that, I'm most excited to have the opportunity to tell Port Alberni's story. The steps of the show really required us to take a bit of a step back from our comfort zone, because while we did get to have input, certainly into the community projects, we are not the decision makers. We have some approval authority, but this process really, I think, made us embrace and encourage that we can welcome someone else into our community who has design experience, who has community building experience, and we can get their take on how we should develop these spaces, how we should improve them. It was actually interesting feedback from the producers of the show to say it's really important that we shine, that we put Port Alberni on the best foot forward to when we're highlighting the community, that we shine a light on the areas that already have so much potential, that you want to really represent your community. Every project that's being featured on the show will go through the process that every other project has to go through in our community. But much of that work has been prepared ahead of time because we did recognize that there was a tight timeline for the filming of the show and the renovations that go along with it. A question I've had a lot is, why do you think Port Alberni was chosen? We put a lot of work into the video that we made. We were very proud of how we told the story of Port Alberni. I think we were really authentic, both the good and the bad. We've been through a lot of challenge and we didn't hide from that. We had a lot of interviews with the producers early on where we really talked about the hardship this community has been through and the challenge that we're still going through every day in our community. And we had a lot of opportunity to highlight really specific stories about people in our community who have refused to quit through some very hard times. So I really think that Port Alberni was chosen as a result of those stories, the people in our community who really make this place special. We often say we are a community with a heart, and I think that really shone through in everything that we put forward to the producers of this show. And we beat 240 other communities. So that's really incredible. This wasn't a small search, on Vancouver Island for the right community. This is a national search, a show that has a really significant following on a major network, and we are just so thrilled to have been successful and can't wait to see the change that comes in our community from this.
Want to find out more? The city has added a Hometown Takeover page to its website at www.portalberni.ca.